Our next story. Sociologists the world over find it difficult to rationalize the actions of some members of the society. When a supposed pastor is alleged to be linked to the murder of a graduate of the Lagos State University, LASU, one is aghast and short of words. A certain pastor, Wepotoji, I hope I got that right, Wepotoji Sunday Babaniye, a Lagos-based shepherd, along with Sheriff Adebayo and Omolara Ajisomo, have been arrested in connection with the murder of Adedamola Ogunbode, the graduate. Now, Lagos Police Command spokesman Benjamin Hundeyin has let it be known that 2 other suspects escaped, but police are on their trail. It is sordid that the case began as that of a missing person, but ended up being a murder case, allegedly by the said pastor. Dr.
Well, we are
crazy times.
We are still waiting for a conclusion to be reached, because now a body has not been seen.
Okay.
Contrary to what people were saying initially, that the remains were buried inside the church, that has been found to be a no-no. Thank God the church leadership has said it is submitting
itself
to the police probe. No comment, no nothing. We want these to be properly trashed out.
And be seen to be properly.
Yes. And that's why I like that conclusion. Because in the last 1 year, the number of ritual killings, murder and others traced to clerics.
Supposed ritual killings?
No, it is. It was. The old ones have been established.
Okay.
Traced to clerics of all religions, whether it is the traditional Muslim or Christian religion. We've had a lot in the last 1 year. And it is becoming worrisome. Men who claim to belong to God, which is why we call them men of God.
Men of the cassock.
Now, see what they are turning to. You recollect the one that happened in Ilorin not too long ago.
Okay, yeah.
The man said he never saw her. All of this, all of that. Thank God in these 2 cases, the one in Ilorin and the one in Lagos, these guys, or the lady and the guy, actually left traces of where they were.
Okay.
Otherwise, if it was those people who like we Yorubas, we say Kolokondi, who is not traceable.
Yeah.
They would just have gone and would have been gone
for good.
For good. And nobody would have been able to trace them. Look at the one in Ilorin. What did he do? You invited a lady, you killed her, you removed some parts, took it to a battle to sell, and then you said you never saw her. That is why ordinarily people would have said, okay, this man only passed, that's the student now, only passed in front of your church. And they had him talking, I'm in front of this church and all the rest. But with the things happening in the country, clerics being involved in killings, more had to be done. And the things they started saying, allegedly, the man transferred money.
Look at your screen. Look at the picture.
The man just graduated and is working inside LASU itself.
Yeah.
Doing well for himself. A young graduate. Now, there is a claim that there was one transfer of about 1.5 million into the shepherd's account. What business did they do? Another said, apart from the 1.5 million, another 100,000 naira was transferred. I recollect vividly.
Was that supposed to raise flags?
Yes, it's supposed to. What business did they do? They must find out. In this Lagos, about 2-3 years ago, there was the case of a lady who was said to be looking for a child, who left her home and told only one person, I'm heading to this pastor's place for video. The following day, they started calling her. The number was switched off. Thank God for that one person she told. The person went and said, we are looking for this person. The man denied ever.
Denied knowledge and everything.
Ever seen the lady. And then they took the case to the police. By the time the police came, they saw that this man had dismembered this lady and buried the parts that he didn't need inside his own house.
Okay. But let me sound Wale out. Wale, sociologists still are wondering why man would do certain things he's said to do.
Well, you know, the human mind is desperately wicked. And no one can predict
Underline
it.
desperately.
Desperately wicked. And the human mind is also very fragile.
Okay.
And that is why people can be easily
okay, the mind is also impressionable.
Yes. Because people commit all sorts of crimes under the guise of being pastors, being imams, because they know by the time they put on that spiritual garb, it's very easy to hypnotize people. And in a country where people have a lot of problems, that if you see anybody going on the street and just stop him and say, look, there's a battle you are facing, I have the solution. Yeah. Who hasn't got a battle? Even among 3 of us here. So they exploit the social, cultural environment, you know, to exploit, kill, and maim people.
Yeah.
And that is why we need to be very conscious about how we train our children, and in fact, even how we train ourselves. Because adults are also victims, parents are also victims, you know. So we need to be very aware.
Sorry, if I break this here, I just hope, Dr. you find a link here. My colleague, Frank Olize, before he used to start his Sunday program, he would start like this. Do you know where your daughter is? People
at
would
9
laugh.
p.m. At 9 p.m.
Do you know that
he puts it
over
at
40
9
years,
p.m.
over 40 years after, that question is still relevant?
Yeah, it's still relevant today. You know, because a lot of evil... This fellow is a graduate of political science education.
Okay.
There are a lot of unknown people that are missing, kidnapped by neighbors, by street people. So we need to be very cautious about our personal security and the security of our homestead.
Yeah.
What is happening is terrible. A lot of people, you know, when you want to become a pastor, I can just wake up today and say I'm a pastor. Nobody questions you. There is no place you have to go and get his certificate.
No, Wale,
so anybody can parade himself.
Doctor, if Wale wakes up tomorrow and says he's been called, you go call him.
He looks like somebody who has been already.
So we need to be very, very careful. You know, when you go to the internet and read all sorts of things that happen, somebody will just put there and say, look, if you miss this and all that, your blood pressure will disappear in 3 days. You see people started testing messages. I want it. Where are you located? Nobody wants to care about the person that is giving you this information. Which kind of person is he? Or he will tell you, I've just opened a shop. You know, if you can just text me a message, you will become a millionaire. And you see hundreds of people telling them, okay, I want to be a millionaire. They are falling in so easily. So our society is a very gullible society. And I think people need to be very watchful of their children. They need to be very careful. You must be aware of where your children are going at every point in time, where they are, and need to monitor them and ensure their safety.
Let me tease Dotun, you know, in a country where Boko Haram is running riot, you know, and where people are killed just for the sake of killing, you wonder if it is true that the human body parts can produce money.
Well,
if you understand where I'm coming from.
So many people still believe in that rubbish.
Okay.
And I wonder where that theory came from. That if you mix this with this, it will become money.
I remember in my primary school days, in this Lagos, in my primary school days, Bomo, that's the kidnappers started like a child's play.
Yes. And then
today, kidnapping has become big business.
It's business now. Real business. You see,
talk less of ritual killing.
You see bodies on the road with parts missing. You know, we are still waiting for the outcome of that BRT incident. You know,
the lady.
The lady. You know, they said some parts were missing.
Yeah.
We don't have the full gist.
I hear the case is listed for May or so.
Yes, the judgment. Like some will say, there is no substitute for hard work.
No substitute.
Not even prayer.
Yeah.
Prayer is not a substitute for hard work. Some will say, the only place where prayer comes before work It's in the dictionary.
Yeah.
It's not even in the Bible, because the Bible says pray and walk.
Yeah.
I mean,
walk and pray.
Says pray, walk and pray, not pray and walk. Meaning that even God has order.
Yeah. There's order in heaven.
Yes. There is a song in Yoruba language that says,
Pass me not.
Pass me not, O my Savior.
Gentle Savior, yeah.
It's not a song you sing while kneeling down.
Yeah.
It's a song of action. And if people decide that they don't want to walk, and they have to go through this, which I believe is even a more dangerous and more tasking route of killing people.
Essentially,
to get
in
money.
the 21st century, where knowledge economy is, you can hardly hide things like that.
It beats me that people still want to say they are doing money ritual. It beats me. People need to know that these things don't work. They don't work.
Take the first 10 billionaires in Africa. How many of them can you trace to ritual killing?
Ritual killing.
Okay.
It's an illusion.
Yeah.
It's just superstition. That until you cut human body, then you now turn to money. You know? It's just
those who are vast in these things, the likes of Professor Wandi Abimbola, it's a step about Onirubu and all. They've said it. There is nothing like money.
There's no link.
No link with money at all.
Otherwise, Mansa Musa, who is stated to be the richest man in history, would have killed many people.
Sure.
So many
of the people that do the concoction for them, how many of them are billionaires? If they are billionaires, would they have the time to be using human rituals? That means that those ones are also wretched of the heart, who claim they want to make other people to be rich.
And if you want to give me something, I need to first see if you have this.
Yeah.
You can't promise me what you don't have. Then if I believe it, means I'm stupid. What you don't have, you can't promise me.
So it's a belief system. It's warped here.
Yes, that is very wrong. And for me, I'm waiting. The police can do a good job
when they want to.
I agree with you on that.
The police can.
The police should do a good job.
Yeah.
Because if, in the end, there is nobody, that is, you don't find the remains of this guy, it's going to be difficult to tie anything to this man. And of course, Wale is wondering, as I am wondering too, how did we get here? It's a big question. But Walishina by road.
It's a whole
we got here by road.
History of decline in morality, decline in the sociology of life, you know. And I think I trace this.
Makes you wonder, where did we drop the ball?
I think I actually trace this to the years of misgovernance, and then relating to the value of education that we are giving.
Okay.
You know, because when we were growing up in primary schools, the kind of books we used to read about those days, the folklores, the tales about moonlight, you know, you will be taught about fear, you know, for respect, dignity of the human person. They will tell you, yes, don't kill an insect because it was created by God. If you are not being asked not to kill an insect, you can't even think of killing a fellow human being. You know, so those things, right from primary school, you are cultured. You know, it was education with culture. But suddenly, when the military came, they removed those, you know, those books. We couldn't find them any longer, and brought in another. Set of.
I don't want us to degenerate into a blame game here.
Yeah, but
so it's societal.
We can. After all, we have democracy for 25 years now, so there's no excuse. We need to, you know, we need to go back and reclaim our destiny.
All right, folks. This is still Journalist Hangout, where we